God. God's appearance as a man in the Old Testament prepared people to receive God as man in Jesus. On their way to the promised land, God gave Israel the law, but obedience to the law wasn't how Israelites obtained salvation. It was how they showed loyalty to Yahweh. It would help them to live in harmony with God and each other. Salvation in the Bible is the same in either testament. Israelites had to believe God was the God of all gods. He made them to be with him as his family because he loved them. They needed to refuse to worship any other God. Salvation today and in the New Testament.
Yeah. That right. Sugar bomb.
We must believe that he loved us enough to die on the cross so that we could be in God's family forever. And we must put our faith in Christ alone and no other God. The law taught people how to approach God. God is holy, and the space he occupies is sacred. Sacred space is physical space, set apart and dedicated to the use and service of God. The Mosaic Law comprises 613 laws. Many of them sound quite strange. You couldn't eat shellfish or combine different kinds of material in clothing. There was an entire litany of clean and unclean animals and behaviors. These laws were about ritual purity. They taught people the space occupied by God's presence was different than their living space. Cosmic geography encompasses sacred space. The most holy part of the land was where God's presence was. Certain laws alerted an Israelite to the idea that Yahweh's living space was special. Sacrifices reminded the Israelites of this and also purified sacred space and objects so God's people could worship him. Sacred space encompasses more than the purification of physical things. It distinguishes between the holy and the normal. It even marked the unholy territory outside of Yahweh's land. In Israel's world, sacred space reminded Israelites of Eden. It was the place where God lived and where he desired humans to live. The design of the golden lampstand and the holy place of the tabernacle was a reminder of the tree of life. God's throne room, the Holy of Holies, where the Ark of the Covenant was marked off by a veil. The Ark's lid functioned as a throne for God. This echoes God's presence in Eden. Over the Ark sat two cherubim, just as cherubim guarded the entrance to Eden. Lush decorations of vegetation, flowers, palm trees, lions, and pomegranates filled the tabernacle. They reminded the Israelites of God's first abode on earth, the Garden of Eden. You might wonder how cosmic geography worked before Israel got into the land. The Israelite camp was holy ground. Outside the camp was the domain of the lesser gods from Babel. Think about it. While Israel was traveling to the promised land, they were not yet in Yahweh's portion of the earth. Laws about sacred space taught Israelites that Yahweh's people were sacred. Their home was sacred, and that other nations were estranged from God. If the Israelite camp in the wilderness was considered holy, outside the camp was unholy ground. The annual Day of Atonement ceremony illustrated this point. Two goats were involved in the ceremony. One goat was sacrificed, but one was not. The one sacrificed was for the Lord. The one left alive was for Azazel. Then Aaron shall cast lots for the 2 goats, one lot for Yahweh and one for Azazel. But he must present alive before Yahweh the goat on which the lot for Azazel fell, to make atonement for himself, to send it away into the desert to Azazel. The crucifixion of Jesus paralleled the Day of Atonement ceremony. His cross was placed outside the city, away from the temple area, which was holy ground. Jesus bore the sins of the world outside holy ground. Why didn't the powers of darkness understand what would happen at the cross? Well, Paul gives us some insight into the way God shrouded his plan for redemption in mystery. We speak the hidden wisdom of God in a mystery, which God predestined before the ages for our glory, which none of the rulers of this age knew. For if they had known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. Do you realize what Paul is saying here?
If you've watched it this far,
Darkness and understood Jesus was coming to give his life as a sacrifice for sin, they never would have had him killed.
when I play with Jeff, the ferret, he does the same. He likes to hold on to you. But this little guy, Eric, oh yeah, he's trying to eat me.
Get behind me, Satan. Jesus would have none of it.
The ferrets are good for having kids around you. I don't think, like, I've got 3 little ones, from 9 to 13. I don't think, when he was little, like he's 6 months old now, his play was very gentle. But now, yeah, he's biting. He uses his back teeth as well. And he crunches down on you. Something we can tolerate. And he's very easy to get into, calm down. Because he is only playing. But like, yeah, he's hurt. He hurts. And he loves his teddy bears. He's got a couple of more, right? But he just wants to, He's only just met Jeff. I actually caught him last night, and I wish I could have got it on video because they were playing, but in their own styles. He was doing his little stomp and dancing and fluffing his tail up, and they were nose to nose at some point. See the way he buries his head? You think you're high? It reminds me of a hedgehog. The way it curls up into a ball, he does the same thing. But that's not normally when he wants his head scratching. He loves his head scratching. See, and he's not aggressive. But when he plays, I don't think I'd want him to play with me kids because he hurts, and he would definitely make younger children cry. See, like that there where he's just got me. He likes his belly being tickled. He doesn't like under his chin being tickled. But he does like, yeah, God, that, yo.
He was outwitting
love him. He is honestly, and both him and Jeff, and that they'll play on their own. You don't need to, as long as it's got a few toys, because Jeff plays with the same toys. They won't use the toilet. They have to have separate toilets as well. And I use the puppy pads. And Jeff's he's old now, and so I don't know whether he's a bit incontinent or he just can't be asked, because he'll do his business anywhere now. He always seems to miss the pads, and he's got cataracts as well. But this guy's he was born in April the 30th. He's got a bit of a gammy leg as well. I think that's why I got him a little bit cheaper, and I'm not sure, because I have got a video and I intend to show it. The first day that I brought him home, and you can see clearly that he is standing up properly. But nowadays, I don't know whether it's just because he's fat or because he's got a gammy leg, because is it this one? Stop it. Pack it in now. Eric. I'll do you in, you little rat bag. See the way he hides his tail. Calm down, big boy. He is massive for his age. Like he eats a lot of insects. He doesn't really eat meat. He's not into his veggies, and he'll eat nuts. He likes walnuts. Hazelnuts. He likes them. And I've got to be truthful sometimes, and that he likes a scone. And Mr. Kipling's blackcurrant and apple pie. He likes he likes the pastry, which I know it's full of sugar and but he goes nuts. And he'll eat a full full cake. But he eats a lot of he prefers live food to you can only really get mealworms, and he eats a lot of mealworms. And they actually get worms, these things, and I don't want to use a chemical wormer, so I buy pumpkin, and I get live mealworms, and I feed the mealworms the pumpkin, and as soon as he eats the pumpkin and he eats the mealworms that have ate the pumpkin, it flushes out the worms, and so some of them are massive. I think I've had about 15 out of him. And someone did tell me that they can get fat because they've got worms as well. But he's fat because he eats a shitload. Sorry for swearing. He eats a lot. And he begs for food as well. He's hurting right now. That hurts. It's like he's what's the word? He's trying to flame. He's trying to flame his skin. And he used to eat chicken. I know, but and he liked it on the bone. But now he won't touch it. All he wants is insects, locusts, crickets, waxworms. Sometimes he won't eat them. A lot of when he won't eat them, and waxworms go into little cocoons, and that can become wax moths, which I didn't even know what they were, to be truthful. But I've got one now, and that cocoons that I saved, and I want to see what it turns into, and he will definitely. If you catch moths, and he'll eat the moths always, never refuses a moth. He'll refuse locusts sometimes. Sometimes he won't eat the crickets. He likes to kill them, and but for the price of them, like it's quite expensive to feed it. To feed him what he wants, but because he is fussy. And it's like people, so he wants different things. He doesn't want the same thing every day. Like when you're giving a dog just dog food, like, it's just the same crap every day. He likes to be out, and he should be by nature, searching for stuff, and he would find different things in the wild. I take him in the garden. There's supposed to be slugs and snails and that, like, but he doesn't. He plays with snails, but he won't go near a slug. He sniffs at it and it's like, nah, that's crap, man. Yeah, but he'll eat other bugs that he finds out there. He doesn't. He tasted woodlice once, but he never touched it again. And I've seen him eating ants. Oh, he likes blackberries as well. Yeah, and is it rose hip? You've got to take the inside of it out. It's a little red bud. He really. He won't eat loads of them, but he'll have a nibble at them.
Why was it so shocking to hear Jesus claim that he was the one coming on the clouds? Because everywhere else in the Old Testament,
Jeff?
that expression was used only.
I haven't seen him for ages.
For instance, in Psalm 104, Yahweh, the God
He used to be really fat, and I put him on a diet because he's old, and I don't want him. I want to get as many years as I can out of him, and I don't want to abuse him by overfeeding him and putting all that pressure on his heart. And since he's lost all the weight, he's got really bouncy and dooky. It was funny, but watching him in the other room, I snuck in after them. Because, like, Jeff went in first, and then I was in the kitchen making the coffee, and he started doing this little dance that he does, and went into the bedroom. And that's all brought me brewing, and I thought, I've never really left him alone unattended. I always watched him. And I've only been doing this for just over a week, where they've been introduced together, and they've been in separate rooms. I kept Jeff in this room, and Eric was in the other room, and he had the kitchen. So, but when this guy was asleep, Jeff would be awake, and so he's normally awake of a night, but most nights he's not awake much of a day. Where Jeff is, when I get up, Jeff's up, and so I let Jeff out, and he'll tend. He used to sleep in the kitchen, but now he's made a little den underneath there. He's rubbed all my clean pads that I've put down, and carrier bags. He loves carrier bags. So does Jeff. And he's stuck it underneath the cage. Jeff will usually sleep in there, and he only ever wanted that for a feeding place. And somewhere for them to doss. I don't like him. But it also comes in handy. Like Jeff, the top part up there's got a toilet area for him. So when I shut the cage, he'll poop on the bottom one. I'll put food sometimes on that middle one down there, and I put his other food and water on the bottom. For when I shut him in. I don't often shut him in, but because I'm getting these used to each other. It's took 6 months. I think, yeah. I've had them since. I got them on June the 25th. So it's took a few months, and like he's got a really weird squeak or a scream. I can't even describe the noise he makes, and and he opens his mouth as wide when he does it, and he grunts like a pig, and Jeff doesn't really. He just does like he's got a type of hiss that he'll do, and it's like he's laughing at you, and he only does it when he's excited, and he does his little Duke dance, and then he throws himself on his belly, well on his back he rolls over, and he's waiting for you to come and tickle him. He'll do the same thing, but like now, I've got to stop him from doing that, and not being so rough. But he's only got baby teeth, so it's like when a cat bites you. But bloody hell, he hurts. Yeah. I mean, 20 minutes is better, and I was playing with him before I started recording him. See, look there, he's trying to scrape me, the skin off me. The spirit was supernaturally overcoming that obstacle. But there's more going on. But it's play, and he's not. Yeah, he's not attacking me. God was going to take the nations back. God gave the risen Jesus all the authority he had once given to them. Which one's it's this leg here? The one I'm pointing at with my index finger. Which side is it? It's the left-hand side leg. See, this leg's long. That part up to his elbow, where this one seems short, and I can feel like some lumpy bits. Whereas this, it's not. It's a long leg. It's like he's got one leg shorter than the other. But he stands and he runs and he's fast. And he can shift, but he doesn't seem to run like the skunks that I've seen on YouTube. You know. And them ones aren't as fast as him because he really is. He's proper fat. Jeff, the fella, he was that fat that he couldn't clean his own ass, so I had to get loads of I get toilet wipes so I could clean his bums, and that was a big part of me putting him on a diet. And he is because, you know, these are very greedy animals. They don't know when to stop eating. And I think he's making that little nest over there because they're supposed to, skunks go to sleep for a while and they'll stop eating through the winter. But they're not in a full hibernation. Now, I don't know whether he's going to do that. No, hedgehogs do the same thing, I think. And we've got hedgehogs and downstairs. I live upstairs in a flat. And but they're supposed to be what the neighbours say. There's 3 hedgehogs that come round and they hibernate. But I've never seen them. The food gets eaten, what gets put out for them. We even have a one-legged seagull that comes here every day. Paul had a supernatural view of his own life. He viewed himself as set apart, as an instrument. I'll get you, fat boy. Ah, no, you got me. See, look at I don't know what you're seeing that then, like, but he didn't have. Let him calm down. Just take his toys away from him.
But it actually marks his presence more specifically.
Right, so you want to pack it in now? Eric, he licks you as well. You know, he does lick.
Every believer is sacred space.
When Jeff does this to me, Jeff suckles, and he does he suckles on your finger. He doesn't. This guy's just like, yeah, I'm gonna bite you, man. Likes to play. I don't know. Well, he has to like tug of war. I think he's just practicing for when he kills things. When he gets a moth, he stomps it to death, and that before he eats it. I bought some little chicks as well. He'll eat them. You know, the day-old chicks.
The special place where God's Spirit resides. Wherever believers gather, the spiritual ground we occupy is sanctified by the powers of darkness.
I'm gonna tie down there. Go on, move.
Is a declaration of spiritual warfare.
Pack it in now. Hey, right, enough.
It's hard to us.
Come here. Settle down.
For Christ also suffered once for sins, being put to death in the flesh, but made alive in the spirit,
Calm down.
in which also he went and proclaimed to the spirits in prison, who were formerly disobedient, when the patience of God waited in the days of Noah. Corresponding to this, baptism now saves you.
I'm going to put this on YouTube. It's for posterity more than anything. I'm glad I've got, on me the videos, I've got two white ferrets. They were twin brothers. And sadly, literally just after the first birthday as well, they got this neurological problem, and they ended up losing balance, and they were still eating and drinking right up to the day that they died. And I had them in the vets, and they were trying loads of stuff. It cost me a fortune. The ferrets had paid like £10 for it, and it cost hundreds of pounds. And then they wanted £490 for an autopsy, because they didn't know why they died. They had to get euthanized. And that, I'm telling you, that was horrible seeing that. And like, they were called Larry and Scabs. Scabs was a little baby, and he was a scab. He was, and he was a scabby looking little thing. Whereas Larry was, he was a monster. And not the size, he was absolutely huge. It's like a little pit bull. And then one day he just stopped him when, he was just limping, like crawling, like army crawling, no bouncing, and he just he stopped everything, all his activities. 6 weeks, and I had him in the vets, and I just think he was suffering the whole time. And I hated the fact that he had to have him euthanized. And then 2 weeks after that, they went blind as well. Their eyes went totally white. And that both of them, they both had red eyes. And then their eyes went white. And then they went all limp and everything. And they were just crawling at first, and then after that they couldn't even move anywhere. And they were still eating and pooing. And saddest thing ever. And then someone showed me a post on Pets for Vets with skunks, and I didn't have any money. I got this little guy from Birmingham as well, and yeah, Birmingham. So somewhere in Birmingham, and one of the districts, like, I'm not sure if it was Wolverhampton. Anyway, from down there, from the Midlands. Took us over 12 hours to get there and back. But he was very nervous and didn't really like people. It took him a long time to come round and for him to be like this. And he'll follow me. He comes to me sometimes. He can be very grumpy. He can be shy. And because he's not really socialised, and he was when I first got him, because my kids came to stay for a month. So I had my 3 kids with me, and they were playing with him. Got some videos of him there. He was tiny then. Yeah, I got him at 8 weeks old. Eric, you're a muppet, man. You know, and he can spray me anytime he wants, but he won't. And that for me shows he's my friend, and I can do anything to him. I can proper rough him up. Yeah. And when I want to cuddle. His fur's dead soft, his tail's a bit weird. He likes being groomed. You know, and I brush him every day. So, you know, sometimes it can be 2, 3, 4 times a day. Yeah, and I can make him do this weird thing with his mouth where if you scratch it, you know, tickle his head dead quick. Get him there. Yeah, he goes all givey. Because you're a big baby. No, you can't help it, can you? Just scratch your head. Get you behind your ears.
The one who receives the inheritance among many brothers. John puts this even more succinctly. We will be like him. That's our future. But what about now? Sometimes when we hear that we'll be like Jesus, we process it only in terms of
Jess well asleep.
bad.
Can't believe that. I haven't seen her for ages.
That turns grace into duty. That's just bad theology. The Bible teaches salvation is not of works, but of grace. God loves to give us everlasting life if we will only
Clock,
believe
I don't know whether
Until
I
that
get
day,
that with the
God
time.
wants us to tell the epic story of his war against supernatural rebellion, to help him release those still held captive by unseen powers of darkness.
It's 4:15 in the morning. Can't sleep. You know, some of the reason why I got Ed. You know, Jeff does sleep of a night. And when I go to bed, I'll take him with me. And so he'll cuddle up with me while I go to sleep. And I always, before I do go to sleep, I only keep him with me for about 20 minutes. And he loves, you know, cuddling.
The already but not yet paradox is an important
I
biblical
think
idea.
I've tired them out.
On the already side of things, God gives us a new identity as his
I'll go
children.
to sleep now.
We belong with him as he
And
intended.
I'm getting a bit tired,
He also
really.
gives us a mission. We're here to grow God's family.
I hope all my kids watch this. You know.
The not yet part of our mission is what
Don't
we
really
often
know how to
miss.
do all this YouTube stuff, so, and I'm not really interested in audiences. I mean, I'd be buzzing if people do watch it, but you know, just to see Eric. Not about me or anything.
The book of Revelation promises believers a
You
future
know,
where
just
we will rule with Christ over the nations.
just want people to see it.
Fast to what
But
you
more
have
my
inside.
kids.
And the one who conquers and keeps my works until the end, I will give him
Feel
authority
tight
over the
sometimes
nations.
because he's a wild animal, really. He should be free.
Think about it.
You know, we can't really
Believers will
let
be
them in.
granted authority
I
over
don't.
the
At
nations.
the same time,
Who rules the
you know,
nations
and
now?
obviously
The
I
fallen
bought
sons
him
of God.
for a
We're going to
companion, but
replace them and rule with our
I
Father.
do question whether it's right.
What
But
do
it's
you
my own
think of the
selfishness
gift
that,
of the morning star?
you know,
In the ancient world,
and you
stars
can't
were
go, like, I
associated
mean,
with
you
divine
can't just
beings.
get
The
up and say,
morning
like, I'm
star
off. I
is symbolic of the
don't want to be
reign
here.
of the Messiah. Jesus
I
is
don't
the
like having a
morning
dog
star.
or a cat.
That's a title for the ruling Messiah. I, Jesus,
But they make good,
am the root
yeah,
and the
they
descendant
are
of
good
David,
companions.
the bright morning star.
And the other thing that I've been told, and I think it's quite true, because some people do come here, but he won't entertain them.
Elsewhere in the book of Revelation,
He buggers off and goes under
shares his throne.
either the kitchen cupboard or in there. I used to have that vase lying down on the floor before I got them bits whatever, feathers and stuff in it. And he used to sleep in that all the time. I don't know, but it was never intended for a bed for him. So now that I've got them things in it, like, he hasn't got that option. And I won't put him in the cage. That's Jeff's, and Jeff plays in there.
God created us to be in his family and to enjoy his world with him. Despite all the darkness in the world, we still can.
Yeah.
We need only
Anyway,
to turn to him and believe his plan.
I'm going to try and see if I can put this on YouTube. It is meant for me kids, and I should show my face and like, you know, for them. So, but you know my voice. Yeah. Okay, he's absolutely lovely. He is. So from all that play and everything, and I have tired him out. He'll just go to sleep. Yeah. Eric the skunk. Can't believe I've got a skunk. Ah. You don't like this one, do you? Yeah. Started him off again. Headache. It is beautiful, isn't it? Stick your sail up, mate. Stick your sail up. I love it when he fans his sail. And he's not very long either. You know, Jeff, he's proper long. You know, his body, but this is a short little stumpy thing with this beautiful tail when he sticks it up, especially when he's playing. That's why I don't mind him playing, especially when he's on the floor. I've got him on the couch at the moment because
Don't you remember what day it is?
hurting you the little bit.
See, the gospel of Christ is not about saving us from hell and delivering us into heaven. The gospel of Christ is about redeeming, reconciling, and restoring mankind to the family of God. That is what the gospel of Christ is. And all of these words are different. When you talk about the word redemption, to redeem something means to purchase it back, to get it back. And why do we have to be redeemed? Because of sin. Because when Adam sinned, all of us were condemned because of his sin. We're also condemned because of our own sins. Those are two different things. See, we wear a body of sin because of Adam. Adam, in his fallen condition, was divorced from the family of God, and we inherit the corruption through Adam. Sin and death, and entropy and degeneration, we inherit it from Adam. And because of Adam's sin, Adam and his offspring were condemned with the dragon and his angels. So we are born, the human condition is one of condemnation, degeneration, and condemnation. We degenerate, we die, and we are condemned with the enemies of God. That is part of the story of the prodigal son, because the prodigal son becomes indentured to the swineherd. Who's the swineherd? He's an archetype of Satan. So when we are born into the world, we are born as indentured servants, slaves to the swineherd. And because we are slaves to the swineherd, legally so, because we chose to rebel against God, to throw our lot in with his enemies. That was what happened in the garden. That was about allegiance, the Garden of Eden. And they chose to listen to the enemy of God and to heed his voice over the voice of their father. And so what was the result? They would be condemned with him. Condemned with the dragon and his angels, right? And so the devil has this legal hold over mankind. He's the chief of sinners, Satan. And all sinners, all the reprobate, belong to him and are condemned with him. Belong to him in the sense that they're going to be condemned with him, right? So that's where the word redemption comes in. Because in this fallen state, in the state of condemnation, we had to be purchased, bought back from the swineherd. Somebody had to pay our debt. See, that's what being an indentured servant means. When you would enter into indentured servitude, it meant that you had a debt and you couldn't pay it off, and you had to work for your master until you could pay your debt off. But see, our problem is that we are unable to pay our debt off. And so we we needed a kinsman redeemer to pay it for us. And that's called redemption. Remember the song of the Lamb in the book of Revelation. You purchased men for God. By your blood, you purchased men for God. That is redemption. We're redeemed from the swine herd. Why are we redeemed? So that we